All right, I've just fallen down the darkest rabbit hole and I need you to come with me. Because what I found isn't just a list of red flags, it's a complete forensic blueprint of how narcissistic control actually works. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. Here's the thing, nobody tells you about narcissistic abuse. It's not random cruelty, it's not just a bad relationship. It's a system, a predictable, repeatable cycle with specific phases, each deploying surgical psychological tactics. And it follows the same pattern every single time. The cycle has 4 phases. Idealize. They make you feel like you've found your soulmate. Devalue. They systematically destroy your sense of reality. Discard. They vanish or brutally end it, often blindsiding you. Hoover. Just when you're healing, they pull you back in. Let me show you the playbook for each phase. Phase 1. Idealize the intoxication. This is where they study you like a final exam. Love bombing. Not normal affection. Overwhelming affection. Gifts, texts, future plans mirroring your dreams. Example. 3 weeks in, they say, I've never connected with anyone like this. I think you're the one. They know your favorite song, your childhood wound, your love language. Not because they care, because they're building a file on what buttons to push later. You think you've been seen for the first time. You've been scanned. Phase 2. Devalue the dismantling. Once you're emotionally hooked, the cruelty starts. Slowly, almost imperceptibly. And it targets 5 core mechanisms. Your grip on reality, your emotional stability, your ability to think clearly, your support network, your will to resist. Weapon 1. Gaslighting. What it is: denying things that happened, twisting facts, making you doubt your own memory. Example. You clearly remember them screaming at you last night. Today, that never happened. You really need to talk to someone about these episodes. This isn't forgetfulness. This is intentional reality erosion. Done consistently enough, you stop trusting your own mind. And once you don't trust yourself, you'll trust them instead. That's the goal. Weapon 2, DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. Example. You humiliated me at dinner. Them. I did not. Why are you always attacking me? I'm the one walking on eggshells around you. Now you're comforting the person who hurt you. Weapon 3, projection. What it is: accusing you of exactly what they're doing. Example. A partner actively hiding texts accuses you of being secretive. You spend an hour proving your openness. Their phone stays locked. You never get to ask your original question. Weapon 4, word salad. What it is: circular, contradictory nonsense that exhausts you into submission. Example. A 45-minute conversation that loops through 5 unrelated grievances, contradicts itself twice, and ends with you unable to remember what you originally asked. You walk away from these conversations feeling crazy. That's not an accident. Confusion is a feature, not a bug. If they can keep you confused, they can keep you compliant. Weapon 5, moving goalposts. What it is: every time you meet their demand, the criteria change. Example. I trust you if you shared your location. You do. Now I need your passwords. You give them. Now you need to stop seeing certain friends. There is no finish line. That's the point. Weapon 6, triangulation. What it is: introducing a third person to create jealousy or insecurity. Example. Casually to their partner. My coworker Jessica really gets me. She's so easy to talk to. Now you're in competition with a stranger. Now you're trying to win their attention. Phase 3, discard the destruction. This is the part that breaks people. You thought if you just loved them harder, understood them better, fixed yourself more, it would work. Then one day they're just gone. Or they end it with such cruelty it feels designed to destroy you. And here's the truly sick part. The smear campaign often starts before the discard. They've already told friends, family, co-workers that you're the abusive one, that you're unstable, crazy. By the time you realize what's happening, your reputation is already scorched earth. Mutual friends start avoiding you. You get calls from their family. They're devastated. How could you be so cruel? Nobody asked for your side, because the story was written before you even knew there was a story. Phase 4, Hoover, the trap. You've gone no contact. You're starting to heal. You're remembering who you were before them. And then, a text at 2 a.m. I've been in therapy. I finally understand what I did wrong. You're the only person who ever truly knew me. This isn't reconciliation. This is hoovering, named after the vacuum, because they're sucking you back in. And it works because of the most insidious psychological trap in the entire playbook: intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement, the addiction machine. One day, the most loving person alive. Next day, cold, distant, cruel. You never know which version you'll get. So, you keep chasing the good one. This is the exact mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. And it's why leaving feels impossible. Your brain isn't wired to give up on something that sometimes rewards you. It's wired to keep trying. That's not weakness. That's neuroscience being weaponized against you. The control toolkit, the full arsenal. These tactics don't happen in isolation. They layer isolation. Your family doesn't really care. They just want to control you. Silent treatment. Days of no contact as punishment until you apologize for their behavior. Blame shifting. If you hadn't pushed me, I wouldn't have said those things. Invalidation. You're being ridiculous. You're too sensitive. Withholding, affection, sex, praise, money, anything you need becomes conditional. Threats. I'm not saying I'd tell your boss about your past, but it would be unfortunate if that came out. Covert. Never fully stated. Utterly effective. What makes this so hard to escape? You think, if I can just explain it better, they'll understand. But here's the truth you need to hear. They already understand. This isn't confusion. This is control. You're not failing to communicate. You're trying to negotiate with someone who benefits from your pain. And because they've spent months or years conditioning you, your reality feels negotiable. Your emotions feel invalid. Your thoughts feel unreliable. Your support system is gone. Your hope is tied to them changing. That's not love. That's captivity with a smile. What actually works? I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There are only a few things that genuinely break the cycle. No contact, or the absolute minimum if you share kids or work. This is not cruelty. This is survival. Grey rock method. When contact is unavoidable, be boring. No emotional reaction, no drama, no supply. They lose interest when there's nothing to feed on. Respond in flat, factual sentences. Give them nothing to twist. Document everything. Screenshots, emails, recordings where legal. A private journal with dates and exact quotes. This isn't paranoia. This is the only defense against gaslighting. When they say, that never happened, your documentation says otherwise. Specialized therapy, not just any therapist. One who specifically understands narcissistic abuse, coercive control, complex trauma, CPTSD. Generic couples therapy with a narcissist often makes things worse. They perform. You get blamed. Trust your own perception. This is the hardest one, because they've spent so long teaching you that your feelings are wrong, your memory is faulty, your reactions are crazy. But here's the truth. If something felt wrong, it was wrong. Your gut was right. Your confusion wasn't stupidity, it was strategy. Your pain wasn't sensitivity, it was a reasonable response to cruelty. You're not the problem. The manipulation is. Why I'm sharing this? Because someone reading this thread is currently in phase 2, devalue, and thinks they're the problem. Someone else just got discarded and believes the smear campaign. Someone else is staring at a Hoover text, wondering if this time will be different. It won't be different. The cycle doesn't break because you change. It breaks because you leave. And I need you to know, you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're not alone. And now you have the map. One last thing. The most dangerous moment in this cycle? Right after you decide to leave. That's when love bombing hits hardest. That's when threats get real. That's when flying monkeys mobilize. If you're in that moment, don't negotiate, don't explain, don't give one more chance. Just go. Healing is possible, but it starts with seeing the system for what it is. Not a relationship, a control operation, and you just got the declassified manual. If this thread helped you see something clearly for the first time, share it. Someone in your life needs this map. And if you're the person who needed it, I see you. You're going to make it out.